This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, Brewers Outlet, and NIL Game Changers. Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Purdy Insurance, Brewers Outlet, and Sunbury Motor Company. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. It's wonderful to be with all of you today. This half hour brought to you by Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Ford, Kia, Hyundai, the best in new inventory. Great pre-owned inventory. With the all-important Sunbury Motors guarantee. And a terrific service department. Quick lane, inspections, routine, difficult to handle, all at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Todd, I hope you enjoyed your holiday.
I did. It was fun. The only downside was nobody had Netflix, so I didn't see a second of either football game yesterday.
You missed nothing.
Yeah, I know.
I will point out that somebody I know, it wasn't me, had a Netflix account, so able to see some of it. The games were just flat out bad. It was bad.
It's like playing three NFL games in 11 days isn't good for the body and the mind or something.
Yeah, but the Steelers and the Texans are not good enough.
No.
I mean, that's the issue. The issue is the fact that they are not good enough. And when the Steelers hit this stretch of games, as Neil Coulon and I both said, hey, look, this will tell it all. It's just because neither one of us thought the Steelers were. The Steelers are going to be one of those 6th or 7th seeds that can't get through the first round. And I don't think it'll be close in the first round. I mean, they have problems against better teams. And you're going to be facing on the road somebody else who's better.
And they certainly don't have the offense to survive the defense playing that poorly.
No. But so let's start with a couple things. One, for the defense, they need T.J. Watt at 100%.
Yes.
Okay? 2, they need to get Joey Porter Jr. back on the field. He didn't play yesterday. And I think that's part of the defense playing better is getting people back on the field or completely healthy. I think Watt went out yesterday and gutted it out, but that's about all he did yesterday was gut it out. The week before, he was a mere shell of himself. I mean, just a mere shell of himself a week ago. Now, was he a little bit better yesterday? Yeah. I mean, no doubt. And then the Baltimore thing. You want to talk about a team catching fire at the right time. That's exactly what they're doing. Catching fire at the right time. Jackson's playing really well. Henry is playing really well. And that makes, and their defense, Oweh, all the way through everybody in Hamilton. Humphrey, they're just all playing well. And they're hitting at the right time. Roquan Smith seems to be playing better. And the Texans are division winners. They'll make the playoffs as a division winner. They are not going far. You can just see that recent games I've watched them play, they have not they haven't played well. When I watch them, they haven't played well. And what the two games did yesterday is they allowed you to spend more time with family.
Yeah. And it also, I think it's pretty fair to say that it'd be pretty shocking if the AFC champion this year isn't KC, Baltimore, or Buffalo at this point.
Right. And Buffalo is the team that I look at. I mean, let's give credit where credit is due. You know, they lost receivers. People are like, well, who's Josh Allen going to throw to? And guess what? They keep on winning. I mean, that's just, to me, that's so impressive about what they are doing. You know, Allen's had a great year. I know they're talking about him as the MVP and so forth. And, you know, and as you know, my level of caring on that is minimal. It's about winning the whole thing. That's what it's about. Go ahead.
I was going to say, did you see instead of the quarterback buying the old lineman a gift, that the Buffalo old lineman bought Josh Allen a gift this year?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
And it wasn't cheap. It was a number 17 necklace with a bunch of diamonds in it.
Yes, but the key is they all chipped in.
Yes.
Right? Instead of the quarterback out of his buying how many, 8 gifts? Right? They just chipped in for 1. So don't make it seem so magnetic. No, I'm just kidding. I think that's great.
I was going to say, unless you're Dan Marino and you can just get all your isotoner gloves free for your offensive lineman.
Oh, it's just such a shot. Such a shot.
Also shows my age making a 30-year-old commercial reference.
Yeah. do they even make isotoner gloves anymore?
I have no idea. I haven't seen a commercial. I do remember they made at least one commercial when he was retired, but I do not remember. I don't remember seeing isotoner gloves in a while.
Wow. Well, yeah. So yesterday's games didn't advance the cause of the league. And for Kansas City, look, we know they're the show. Ratings, the quarterback, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. But the only day of the week they haven't played on this year is Tuesday.
Does Roger Goodell know that? I don't think so.
Roger Goodell doesn't care.
Well, he might want to get him on a Tuesday, to complete the 7 days.
Yeah, that's true. But it's, first of all, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with that. It's wrong. Now, you're not going to run into this next year. Christmas is on a Thursday next year. Right, so you can have a Thursday schedule. But, like, every time I turn around, the NFL is, let's see. The NFL needs to, and they won't do this, be a more humble organization. Okay? And what do I mean by that? They need to be more of a humble organization in how they treat the players and how they treat the fans. I don't understand this obsession that they have now had between Kansas City, Miami, and this Christmas Day with streaming. Everyone acts like streaming's taking off. Streaming is not taking off. Okay? Are there more people who have cut the cord? Of course. We know that. All right? But That doesn't mean streaming is, okay? Taking, they act like there's some sort of trendsetter with this. Now, with Thursday Night Football, yes, but people are at least now used to it. It's one game, it's every week, and that's fine, okay? What they're doing with a playoff game, now at least this year it's on Prime, so that I think that's more acceptable because you're going with one of your network partners who carry games every week, as opposed to Peacock, like, oh, yeah, suddenly we're going to put one on. And there's Netflix thing yesterday. Right? You can't give everyone the impression that you don't give a darn about the fans and you don't give a darn about the players. I mean, Kansas City's played on every day of the week except Tuesday. Does that send out the message you care about the players? Putting the games on Netflix and getting people to buy it if they wanted to watch it, does that tell you everybody they care about the fans?
You're more involved in more important things this past weekend, but that was kind of the narrative turned into how dare the college teams play on this Saturday that the NFL always plays, where I feel like people were saying that the college football playoff is going to have to come up with another schedule. Why would they go against the NFL? They should have played Thursday and Friday. And I think the NFL is getting these people to believe this stuff too. That that these are their days and these.
No, they have something called Thursday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah. Oh,
okay, which they already have. College football is played on Saturdays, and if you can squeeze one in on a Friday night because of the schedule, you do it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the feeder system for your league. Yesterday, Patrick Mahomes started at quarterback. He played for Texas Tech. Russell Wilson started at quarterback. He played for NC State and Wisconsin. Right? C.J. Stroud started at quarterback. He played for Ohio State. Lamar Jackson started at quarterback. He played for Louisville. All four of those guys came into the league with star power because of their college careers. How much more are you supposed to set it up for a league and put it on a tee more than that? You should have more respect for them, too.
You're preaching to the choir here, and that was one of the things I couldn't understand was, this is a first time for this. Why? I mean, how did the NFL decided to do this after the college football schedule was released?
I mean, have they traditionally played on the Saturday
after college is over? Yes.
At this time of the year, yes, I know that. I've known that my entire life. But just because they have doesn't mean they can't sit back and go, you know what? How about we rework our schedule a little bit for one weekend? I mean, the college football playoff semifinals are a Thursday and a Friday, so they don't interfere with the NFL playoffs. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is, again, do you want to be the league that acts like they don't care about how many days of the week the players play? Do you want to be the league that doesn't care about the fans, that forces them to watch a game on streaming instead of over-the-air TV, which you already have 10-year contracts for? Are you the ones that basically look at college football and go, you know what, we'll do anything we darn well please? This is the league you want, and then the fact, and here's the problem you're going to have with getting the word out on that. The word is going to be difficult because they have a contract with ESPN.
Yes.
They have a contract with NBC. They have a contract with CBS. They have a contract with Prime. They have a contract with Fox. Are any of these people going to speak out against it? Anybody? No.
I'm a little surprised they didn't cut off LeBron's interview last night. after the game where he brought that up.
Actually, I did see that.
Yeah,
That's the only part of the game I saw last night was his interview with Lisa.
Actually, that's the only part of that game I saw too.
It's the only part I saw. He's like, "Hey, this day is for the NBA." He said, "And I love the NFL." Again, do you want now? But they're not going to get called out because there's nobody out there independent enough to call them out. I mean, who's going to call them out? What, make them mad?
I was going to say there isn't any corporate entity that they're not that broadcasts things that they're not in bed with.
That's right. That's exactly right. So there's nobody that's going to call them out, and if they put out the word to their media partners that how dare college football step on their Saturday toes, what do you think the partners are going to say?
Sorry.
They're going to say they shouldn't be stepping on pro football's media toes. They already have the week, right? So it's easy for them to get the word out. They control the money. Interesting, isn't it?
It's funny how that works.
Yeah. And after turning out the two duds they turned out yesterday, if I were them, I wouldn't brag too much. Because yesterday, a couple of duds. They're still the most watched thing out there. So.
Well, yeah.
Hey, I mean, and I say that with, with great respect. People do want to watch it. Like the two NFL playoff games did beat the two college games in the ratings. I mean, they did. So,
a lot of people did watch football this past weekend.
Oh, no question, they watched stuff. Oh yeah. Watched a lot of football this weekend. I'm going to be watching football today. I mean, seriously. I'm going to watch football today. I've got just about everything done I need to get done for the game on Tuesday. Man, I've got pretty much. I want to watch one more Boise State tape, but that's it. I've got everything else. I'm done. Penn basketball Sunday, I'm done. I already got it done. We may have had a couple of days off, but I used them well. How about that?
Sometimes that's the whole point of a day off.
Yep. So, although I was talking to Andy Koltanicki last night, the 2 days off were great for the staff. I was talking with Andy last night. He said I guess he got more rest. I don't put the hours in they put in, but I still put in a lot of hours. But I don't put the hours they put in. And he said, I haven't had 2 days in a row off since the middle of July. And I said, Andy, neither had I. Tuesday and Wednesday are the first back-to-back days I've had off since the middle of July. So I knew what Andy was talking about last night. I knew what he was talking about. So now you're wondering about practice. They did practice. They went for about an hour and a half last night. They went for between an hour and a half last night. Today is an off day because this would be Monday on the schedule. So this is one of those you go in on your own. There are two lifts in the morning, so there's two groups that lift. So, that's what usually happens on a Monday anyway. And then, a lot of video and so forth, that you can do on your own. Get ready. Tomorrow they'll do a full practice. It's going to be in the morning, and it's going to be here. And then they go a half hour earlier, actually 20 minutes earlier on Saturday here, full practice. Then they will fly to Phoenix. And then Sunday will be a walkthrough Monday's Fast Friday, game on Tuesday night. Boise State is also going in on Saturday. This is a business trip. This is not one of those like, hey, let's go out and see the Sequoias. No. This is all business. Okay, this is not let's go to SeaWorld. And believe me, they're the players, they should get excuse me. Whoa, back. Okay? The players prefer it this way. Okay? They're playing for the national championship. The players want this to be a business trip. So this is not one of those, well, it's too bad they don't know. It's a business trip. I mean, you're playing, I mean, look, you're playing to advance. That's what it's all about. Okay, we'll take a break. Back with more in a moment. Brought to you by Sunbury Motors on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
Party time, game time, or just fun time. Doesn't matter what time it is because it's Brewers Outlet time. The beverage supermarket has the area's largest beer selection. Imports, microbrews, ciders, and domestics. Pick from over 100 ice-cold 12-packs and dozens of 24-ounce singles. Soda, snacks, hot sauces, fresh roasted peanuts. Make it one-stop party shopping, and don't forget the pickle bar. So whatever you're celebrating or just doing it up, Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street, Sunbury wants to see you. And thank you for your years of patronage.
The holidays are a time of year to celebrate and reflect. Reflect on the past year, a year filled with challenges and uncertainty. Uncertainty that bred resilience and hope. Hope for healing, change, new beginnings, and unity. United as one people, one community, by one mission, to safeguard and protect what matters most. From all of us at Purdy Insurance, we wish you health, happiness, and joy this holiday season and success in the new year.
Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
And happy holidays from our good friends at Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. Auto, home, light, business, boat, motorcycle, RV. They take care of all your insurance needs. And they make sure that not only you're fully insured, but they also make sure that they do everything they can to save you money. It's Purdy Insurance. Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. The suit bought himself a lot of great gifts. Nothing was mentioned about other people. What are we doing here?
One of which was probably a helmet to protect him from us.
Oh, he thinks he's bulletproof. Yeah. Yeah. And that is the suit. All right. Good. Done. Been getting a bunch of stuff done. I worked it out where the charter second charter that's going out to Phoenix is actually leaving before the basketball game. So I'm going to do the basketball game, and I have a commercial flight through Chicago to Phoenix. It gets me in about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll get enough sleep, which is fine. Because I practice. I'm going to assume that there's going to be some pep rally they want me to speak at or something. If they do, I will do it. If they don't, then I'm like, okay, fine. But I'm going to come back with on the charter on New Year's Day. I do have a commercial flight as a backup, but if I can get on the charter, I'm going to do that. Fly straight back in because I've got a game on Thursday. In fact, I've got 4 games in 8 days. Home Sunday at 1. Tuesday in Glendale. Thursday at home in the Jordan Center at 7. And Sunday at the Palestra at noon. So, yeah. Then after that, we'll see what the schedule looks like.
Things work out. Hopefully it stays that busy, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's, people are like, oh, it's a lot of work. I said, look, I'm not digging ditches here. Okay? It wasn't like last week where it was like, those poor guys out working in the public works department and it's 15 degrees out and they've got to go out there and take care of some sewer line or something like that. Or, electrical line went down or something where those poor guys are out there busting their backside to make sure you have electricity. I mean, those people work. I do sports. Is there work? Sure. But let's not, it's not in the same realm of work. Yeah.
It's certainly warmer.
It's warmer. It's more enjoyable. It's more everything. Okay? It's more everything. Okay? And I get I get that. I understand that. I've always understood that about this job, because there are people that most of the people I'm around that are in this thing are really great, down to earth, humble people. But there are some people like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. I'm like going, oh, for goodness sakes, you're doing sports. I run into that once in a while. I'll say, do you know how lucky you are that we get to do this? I mean, it's just lucky. What the heck? I mean, do you have to put some juice into it? Sure. I mean, like any job, you have to put some work into it. Right? And, okay. What do you think? I sat there and went, oh, I've got so much work. Oh, for God's sakes. It's work, but it's...
I was going to say the rest of your prep work involves watching one more football game.
Right, exactly. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's just...
I'm going to go to practice tomorrow morning, go to practice on Saturday morning. I'll obviously watch one more Boise State tape. And I've also got to make sure I'm ready for basketball, too. So I've got to get to basketball practice at some point, and I have to do the pregame with Mike. So, I mean, there are logistical things you have to take care of, but,
I was just thinking about it. They really haven't played much the last 2 weeks. They've only had that one game, haven't they? With finals and such?
Yeah. With finals, they almost always have. With finals, there's nothing scheduled during that week.
Yeah.
Zero. In terms of games. Not, they practices, but they don't play games. Now, this time it just worked out where it's the 21st and was opposite this game. A lot of times they'll play on Sunday the 22nd. Normally they play it at home, but they couldn't play it at home this time because of commencement. Commencement got pushed back to the 22nd. And then Mike Rhodes gave them Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and yesterday off. They are back tonight, and they're practicing tonight from 6 to 9. This is basketball. What James did was he gave they did their usual Sunday night after the game. He then gave them Monday and Tuesday off, and they went for about an hour to an hour and a half, like maybe an hour 15, hour 20 last night. And I was over there for it. And then today they're off. And then I've already gone through their schedule.
Did that give some of the kids a chance to get home for a little bit?
If they can, yeah.
Yeah.
It does. Now, James was upset with some of them last night because there were some people that couldn't get home, and he was upset with them last night. He says, I've told you 1,000,000 times, if you don't have a place to go, come to my house. I mean, he told him that last night. He says, I don't want people spending holidays alone. Now, they spend it with, I'm sure they spend it with their buddies on the team, but he says, look, he says, come on over. We've got plenty of food, or go to your position coach, something. Okay? And he was adamant about that last night. So
I read that a little bit in our story from Shane about them going home, and I just can't imagine how, you talked about the coaches getting away for a couple of days. That's got to be great for those kids that could do it too, just to get. I mean, as well as I do that how much this can be a grind.
Oh, exactly. I mean, so it was. I'm trying to think where it was. He let them get out. They practiced Thanksgiving Day in the morning, and he let the players go after that until they got the Fast Friday before the Maryland game. And some players took advantage, went home. I think, I can think of a bunch of guys that did go home. But I remember Nick Singleton was going to go home. And I was talking to Nick about his dad, because his dad is, I can't say enough great things about Tim Singleton. He's a great guy. Okay. And then he came back. I said, hey, make sure you tell your dad hi. And he came back and said, Dad, it didn't work out. I didn't get home. He says, but I am going to tell him. I said, okay, that's fine. Don't worry about it. And but other guys did get home at least on Thanksgiving because they lived close enough. Meanwhile, the rest of them did go around with assistant coaches, went to James's house, things like that. So they did that. Christmas is a little different because, we've either been at a bowl site for Christmas, but we haven't been, quote, home for Christmas, like in State College. So it was different, and that's why he says, come on, guys. Man, I've said this about every holiday. I've said it about Easter. I've said it about Thanksgiving. I've said it, and he has. I've been there when he said it. And so, the players were able to get home Monday, Tuesday, especially those that live relatively, close, within a couple hours, 3 hours. They can get out of here. And then they got back last night. And they didn't have a team meeting till 5 o'clock last night. So I had to make sure they were back for the team meeting. Well, they were back for that. And then they practiced last night. So that's, And today is the usual Monday off day. It's Thursday. It's the usual Monday. See, we all of us that are doing this have to think on Sunday to Saturday. And, But what do we have for bowl games today? There's got to be a bunch of, I think Pitt plays today.
I was going to say Pitt plays today because they announced that Holtenstein isn't going to play. The walk-on is.
Why?
Eli, whatever happened in Louisville, he's not completely recovered from.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I guess Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter have a boatload of insurance taken out on them. A boatload. I guess they're record policies. Remember how Bryce Young and Will Anderson both played in the Sugar Bowl against Kansas State? And Alabama was able to get insurance policies for them so he could play in the game. Well, I guess Sanders and Hunter, obviously both playing in the bowl game. They now have an opportunity to, play in the bowl game for insurance money. So you got 3 of them today. ESPN has Pitt and Toledo at the top of the hour. Now that's in Detroit. Okay. Rutgers is taking on Kansas State. This should be a good game, I think. This is the Rape Bowl. That's the one in Phoenix. But instead of out at Glendale, it's actually where the Diamondbacks play at Chase Field. That's at 5:30. And then the 68 Ventures Bowl is the last game at 9 o'clock. Where the heck is that game? It's Arkansas State Bowling Green. Where is that game? It is Hancock Whitney Field. It's in Mobile. Okay. That's in Mobile.
A 9 o'clock kickoff in Mobile.
Yeah, so at 8 o'clock local time, Mobile's in Central Time. Boom, boom, boom. So,
I also saw Rutgers running back isn't playing today either.
Monangai?
Yeah.
Monangai, gone. Monangai, gone. He was banged up down the stretch anyway. He got into a couple games here and there, but let's see. Grant and Graham are both going to the draft from Michigan. There's a shocker. They should. I'd be telling him too.
Like when half their quarterback room was in the transfer portal too.
Yeah. Yeah. So Monangai is out. I watched a little bit of the Hawaii Bowl the other night. I did watch all the overtimes. I'm sitting there like, okay, come on. I just want to go to sleep. Let's go.
I was going to say, I did not make it to the overtimes of my Christmas Eve party was a little early, so.
No, I've been going to be honest with you, I've been going to bed early a lot lately, like 10 o'clock at night. Not Christmas Eve. I stayed up to watch. I watched the end of this game, and South Florida finally won at 41-39 in 5 overtimes. It was one of those, like, you can't take your eyes off the accident. Like, okay.
I was going to say, it's rare for me to be in bed before 1 o'clock, and I was in bed before midnight on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, no. I mean, I understand that. I mean, I've been going to sleep like 10 o'clock at night, and for whatever reason, I was awake and stayed up, but I did get to the point, like after the third overtime, like going, well, somebody just score. I want to go to sleep.
I was going to say, in my defense, there wasn't a good chance that there was a 9-year-old in your house up at 5:30 in the morning, Christmas morning, though, either.
No, well, we do have grandchildren staying here.
Oh, all right.
All right.
There's a good chance of that then.
But it doesn't mean I participate in that part. Right? You know, they get up with their parents and they open up the gifts and the whole thing. You know, I mean, which is great. That's fine.
Yeah. She had to wait till 7:30.
Really? Oh, my brother, right, was notorious for trying to find out what the gifts were ahead of time. He found where they were hidden or whatever. And he was also notorious for getting up at like 4 to 5 in the morning and waking me up so we could go downstairs and see him. Like, going, okay, sure, I'll go. He was notorious for that.
I'm kind of hoping the King called you at 5 o'clock yesterday morning to get you up to go down.
Did not. Sent me a text. Told him what the travel schedule was, and he went, hey. By the way, Teddy Bridgewater, who's been, after coaching his high school team to the state championship, is going to go back to the Detroit Lions, backup quarterback. How about that? Good for him.
That's a pretty good time to get back into the NFL about now.
Like, this is the time where people need it.
Yeah.
I mean, you need, and look, Bridgewater's the kind of guy, and he played for Detroit before. He's, to me, the perfect definition of what a backup quarterback in this league is. Good enough to win you a couple of games, not good enough to carry you the season. But he can win you a couple of games until the other guy gets back. So, yeah. Jets, Saints, Panthers, Broncos, Dolphins, Vikings. Had quite the career.
He's one of those guys I've always wondered about just because of that knee injury he suffered when he was young with the Vikings.
Well, I remember when it happened because we had Scott Hansen on the show that day from NFL Red Zone, and Hansen broke the story on the show. He says, "Steve, we got some breaking news here." And he was, and he gave it to us. Like, yikes! Not good. Not good. So, yeah. So, Pitt's going to, let's see, Toledo is, Pitt's a 9-point favorite over Toledo. They're both 7-5, but Hohenstein's not playing. Let's see. Rutgers is a 7-point underdog. And Monongah's not playing. Monongah missed some time this year. He still gained almost 1,300 yards.
Avery Johnson's real good for K-State.
Well, Avery Johnson, look, to be honest with you, people don't realize, why is Will Howard at Ohio State?
Because of Avery Johnson? Because
Avery Johnson they just flat out said it straight out. Look, he's going to be the quarterback. And let's see, where's the other game here? It's Arkansas State and Bowling Green. And Bowling Green's a 7.5-point favorite. How about that? And by the way, the tight end did not lead Bowling Green in receptions this year.
Oh, that's surprising.
That's right.
Didn't he
He's
have
a good player,
100?
too. It says here, let's see, hold on a second. No, you're right. He did add 100 receptions, 1342. There we go. 9 touchdowns. Did not once play quarterback or running back. There we go. All right, take a break. Brought to you by Purdy Insurance on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
When car repairs get difficult.
Well, I just don't know.
Me neither.
We get good. Sunbury Motors. More than quality new and used cars, Sunbury Motors specializes in complicated auto repair diagnosis. They can handle intricate repairs and even complete auto body with service open Monday through Friday, 7 till 4. And Sunbury Motors has made simple repairs easy. Maintaining your vehicle is necessary. Finding the time to do it is difficult. Welcome to Sunbury Motors Quick Lane. Just walk in or call ahead. Relax in their remodeled waiting room with Wi-Fi, beverages, and snacks. While Sunbury Motors factory-trained techs take care of your oil change, tire alignments, brakes, and inspections. Quick Lane, 6:30 to 6 Monday through Friday, Saturday 6:30 till 2. Sunbury Motors, Ford and Hyundai, North 4th Street, Sunbury. And Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf. We take the out of auto repair.
The holidays are a time of year to celebrate and reflect. Reflect on the past year, a year filled with challenges and uncertainty. Uncertainty that bred resilience and hope. Hope for healing, change, new beginnings, and unity. United as one people, one community, by one mission, to safeguard and protect what matters most. From all of us at Purdy Insurance, we wish you health, happiness, and joy this holiday season and success in the new year.